let's try again. You'd think that I would try to learn Japanese while I was there, but I did not. I decided to wait 7 years to try to pronounce the name of a park, which is... Yeah, Senshu. Oh, okay, honestly, not too bad. What's really neat about Senshu Park is that it's actually quite more than a park. It's Senshu, which is a whole complex. There's all kinds of great stuff here. And it's a great place to just wander. And that's what I'm gonna do, and you're coming with. For $3,000 and only 2 weeks of prep, spent 3 weeks going all around Japan. What if my clothes don't dry before I have to leave? Mother and child over rice. You're the reason that I'm freezing and I have no food. So it's Sunday, November 8th, which is my 13th day here in Japan, and so I'm going to celebrate by being on the train for 9 hours. It's a long ways up north to Akita, and this is a real interesting thing that you need to understand about Japan, is that it's actually quite a large country, and because there's no intra-country airplanes, if you want to get anywhere, you're going to be on the train for a long time. So what did I do differently to count for such a challenging day? I decided to buy an unreserved seat to save $10. Let's see how well that serves me. So here we are. I don't have a seat. The kind of worst case scenario that I thought might happen later in the day has happened an hour and a half into my 9-hour ride. And it occurs to me I don't actually know where I go when I don't have a seat. And the only thing that really occurs to me is, I guess you stand between cars, and that's it. That's right. You can't stand in the cars because then you're in the way of people trying to move around to the carts. And so I have to bunch myself up against a wall in these on-off like portcullises where people board the train, and there's only like 3 people worth of space in each one. And so as I get between these cars, it's worse than I thought. There's already 4 people here, and we have to share the space together for 7 hours. Oh boy. It's immediately obvious what the challenge of being between these cars is gonna be like. I don't have a whole lot of room, I'm 6'2", and there's multiple people here. We're gonna just kind of have to jockey for space. But then it becomes obvious what else is an issue here. While we might be enclosed, or rather we are enclosed in between cars, that doesn't mean there's good insulation, because there's not. That doesn't mean there's good noise block out, because there's not. That doesn't mean I have good access to internet, because I don't. I don't have access to food or anything. I mean, I have the bathroom, but that's about it. The amenities that I've given up for this $10 savings are not worth it. So I'm faced with a couple challenges here. I don't have any space, that's one thing, but I also don't have anything to occupy my mind for 7.5 hours. Well, I do have to use the bathroom, so let's see what that's all about. So look, it's not like the bathroom is a whole playground of things to do, but it is so over-designed in here. There's pipes and levers and things and stuff everywhere. And it's roomy. I mean, it's like, honestly, kind of a mini apartment. They'd probably get a good ticket price for somebody to ride in here the whole way. It's a shame that I can't be in here to spend my time without upsetting someone else. So, you know, let's see how the toilet flushes. Let's check out all the features, wash my hands, and it's back to purgatory. Standing between cars and trying not to fall asleep standing up or upset anyone for 6 more hours. How long has it been? How long have I been here in between these cars? Please get me off of this train. Look how many times, Anthony, you bought tickets properly and today you screwed it up. $10 saved? Awesome! Glad I have all this cold and cramped knees, freezing temperatures, and no food. What a savings of $10. You're the reason that I'm freezing and I have no food. Yeah, don't mind me, just existing. You're not worth it! Look, I don't even know where to go. God damn, I'm just gonna sit in somebody's seat. They can be mad at me. I'll be that foreigner. $10? This is not worth $10! I just wish I'd had a pillow. Oh, okay. This is all the space I've got. Sumimasen. Even this would have been more comfortable. This was not made for people my size. Okay, can I just wait here? Is this out of everyone's way? I don't think becoming a pretzel was worth saving you. But, oh, sumimasen. So pro tip, unreserved seating makes you a pretzel. These hours on that train have motivated me to do one thing first and foremost. That's go immediately to a train kiosk and get my tickets reserved for Sapporo and Tokyo, because I am not standing between trains again. And while I'm getting my tickets, my Airbnb host Shun comes up. So my host Shun is a linguistics major, so he loves hosting for his Airbnb. He meets people with all kinds of backgrounds and languages. He loves to talk to them. And so he kind of has this routine. If you arrive to stay with him, he likes to take you to this restaurant inside the train station, and it has an Akita famous food called Oyakadon. This translates literally to mother and child over rice. If you remember from episode 2, I'm not really an egg guy. Pleasant surprise there, but even more pleasant surprise here, because this is my favorite food of the entire trip. It is incredible, it is juicy and rich, the chicken is flavorful, the sauce is incredible. After the day I've had, I could not have asked for a better, more pleasant, just warming, filling meal. You cannot miss Oyakadon if you're in Akita. So with one carnal need out of the way, I've got food, great, but now I need sleep. So we're gonna get the futon out on Shun's floor in his living room, and it's pretty easy to go to sleep now that I've got everything covered except for laundry. Crap, I haven't done laundry in a few days, and I am out of clothes tomorrow. All right, well here's the thing. In Japan, most residences, or just people personally, don't have dryers. They hang all of their clothes outside. And I don't have quick dry clothing, so what if my clothes don't dry before I have to leave? Do I just have to pack a bunch of wet clothes in my pack? Whatever, that's tomorrow Anthony's problem. I need to get to sleep, because I have a whole day in Akita tomorrow, and laundry should not be the reason I don't get rest. Waking up this morning, it's Monday, November 9th. Look, it's a bit of a different kickoff, and I'm gonna tell you some truths here that you have to understand when you travel for a long time. Some mornings will start like this, where you go, I'm kind of over the trip. It's maybe not as special anymore. Maybe a little bit of the luster has worn off. That's a very natural reaction, because you've been in a place for so long, it stops feeling as foreign to you, which makes it feel a little less special, because you have some silly monkey brain sort of thing going on. But the reality of the situation is that it's still going to be a great time. You're still going to have fun. There's still plenty of things for you to find. You just have to get up and go. And so that's what we're doing. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to kind of wander and just take in whatever comes along my way. But I'm going to start with Senshu Park. It's the most central thing with lots of stuff to see, so I'm gonna just make my way over there. And it's Senshu Park, right? Again. Yeah, that one. With the rain, there's a lot of mist here in the park. So it kind of has this wandering, can't see too far, who knows what's around the corner feel inside of the tree cover. But then also you have all of the leaves that have fallen down to the ground, matted down by the water, and their colors are way more enhanced by the water on them. I've never seen this before. I've never experienced fall in this way before. And Senshu Park is stunning in this way. If you go to Japan for the fall colors, this is a great way to experience them that I bet you didn't plan on. The first place I find is Kogetsu Pond. After that, I wander into Iyataka Shrine. At the highest point of the park, I find the turret of Kubota Castle. Circling back toward the beginning, I come out through the Kubota Castle front gate, and there's a guardhouse there full of tatami mats, open to the public. It's late in the year, so the sun's going down sooner, and Senshu Park, it closes at sundown, so I gotta find something to do. I'm gonna go find a place to sit, and it's Tolly's Coffee House nearby. It's a great viewpoint, great little plaza down below. I get to people watch, do some writing, and I get to think about where I'm going next. I'm going to Sapporo, but I know there's so much to do there because it is the biggest city on Hokkaido Island. So there's a lot to look forward to tomorrow. I better do some research. With Tolly's closing for the night, so is pretty much everything else. And where I'm at in Akita is pretty close to suburbia. There's not a lot going on. So it's cold and dark, and I'm hungry, and there's nothing to do. So I'm just gonna kind of wander around. And as I find my way through these back streets with barely any lights on, this just giant yellow glowing light flows over a few buildings, and I don't care what it is, I'm gonna eat there. Because around the corner, it's a place called CoCo Ichibanya. which at this point is pretty much an angel of food for me because I am starving. Picking my seat and looking through the menu at CoCo Ichibanya, it's curry and fried pork, but it does ask me what spice level I want. I'm not saying I'm a spice lord, but I do like things on the hot end, and at a scale of 1 to 10, based on what I've had in Japan so far, I'm thinking a 9's probably up my alley. The waiter, though, is not so sure about that. I order it as a 9, and they look at me like, are you? You can read, right? Like, you sure? You good with that? Yeah, man, totally. Like, bring me the food. It's freezing outside and raining. I don't care if it's overly hot. I want to be warm. Okay, dude, like, that's what you want. So I know this waiter's trying to look out for me, but I'm not worried about spice. I mean, jalapenos, too mild. We started habanero around here. 1 chip challenge, I've survived it. And back when I was 16 and working at a Boy Scout camp, these leaders came in with this toolbox full of hot sauces, and they challenged me to eat an entire tablespoon of Megadeth. I'm talking the like 3rd hottest hot sauce they used on Hot Ones. And I survived it, so I'm really not worried about CoCo Ichibanya. Now that I've sufficiently impressed the CoCo Ichibanya waiter with my heat tolerance, it's time to get going. I gotta get back through all the rain, the dark. I'm honestly not even sure where I am in the neighborhood right now. And I do have to make sure that my clothes are hang drying, because if not, I'm throwing wet ones into my bag tomorrow, and I cannot imagine that's a great plan. With all my prep done for tomorrow, it's an interesting feeling looking back on today, and Akita in general. I've been to a lot of great places during this trip, and I've got a lot more great ones to go. And in spite of a wonderful trip here to Japan, honestly, Akita's probably one of the less fun days. I probably wouldn't come back to Akita again unless I was doing the winter sports and up in the mountains. But what's really great and very important for you to remember when you're on a trip, because you'll have a day, right? You'll think to yourself, well, this wasn't super great, but it really was. I mean, look at what today was for me. I got to finally find the leaves with all the fall colors. I got to make my way through rain and dreariness and still have a great time. I got to go to the museum and see this beautiful black lacquerware that Akita is known for, a treasure of the region. I got to go into Game Off and see these incredible limited edition game consoles that I would never see in the States, impress the waiter at CoCo Ichibanya to make it seem like a white guy can eat spicy things. At the end of the day, I did a lot. And so it's important. It's very important as you digest a day to not judge it too harshly, to remember that there are still ups, and while there are downs, you got to do something that is unique in your lifetime. Where you go, what you see, maybe you'll never make it back there again. The uniqueness allows you to still find the excitement and the value without going, well, it was the best day and I always have to one-up myself. You don't have to do that. And I learned that today. I learned that while this may not be the most thrilling experience of the whole trip, look at how much I had to say about it still. I loved Akita, and I am glad I went. That's the end of week 2, but there's still 1 to go, and if you want to see it, make sure you subscribe to Worlds Within Reach, like this video, and then you can see the final bits with Sapporo and Tokyo just around the corner. I'll see you there.